All right, today I wanted to come and talk to you guys about something really, really dear to me. This was one of those light bulb moments. And by the way, excuse my voice, I'm feeling a little under the weather today. But nonetheless, have you ever had that moment in your life or those times when all of a sudden it just clicks? And I'm not talking about a time where you think, oh, I learned something new. No, those times when all of a sudden something clicks and you're like, wow, it's like I just discovered something I always knew. Well, that's a moment I had back in college, and something was bothering me. Reading about Jesus and reading about Christ and all the things he did here on earth always encouraged me. But one question I had, especially while reading this scripture I'm gonna read, is who was Jesus before he was Jesus? You follow me? Like, we know the story of Jesus here when he was on earth, and God sent his son, and all those things that happened. We know that story. All growing up in church, I kind of would get glimpses of, in the Old Testament, why we needed Jesus. But who was he? What did he do before he was the Jesus we know and we know in the New Testament? So here's something, and again, it was that aha moment. So I wanted to share that with you guys, and I hope this is something that can encourage you. Start in John 1. And in John 1, I was reading this, and it just hit me. So it starts like this. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word is describing Jesus. And that Word was with God, and the Word was God, and was in the beginning with God. Notice that. He was in the beginning with God. All of a sudden, I stopped right there. I thought, okay, if Jesus was in the beginning with God, then I should be able to find him in Genesis 1. So I flipped right away to Genesis 1. And as you guys know, in Genesis 1, it starts talking about how did God create everything? It said, and God said, let there be light. And God said, let there be an expanse through the sky. And God said, and God said. And it went on just like that. And God said. Well, all of a sudden it hit me. John, our writer here in the New Testament, described Jesus as the Word. And over here, how did God make everything? He spoke it all into existence. And all of a sudden it was like that light bulb went off. Wait a second. Jesus is actually the active ingredient of life. He's what makes life possible. Follow that. God said, let there be this. Something had to happen in order to cause life, in order to allow life to exist. I mean, to put it in perspective, the first time I really, really understood this, so I learned it, but I had my daughter. And when the doctor handed her to me, and I have this little life in my hands, it all made sense. The fact that my daughter was here and the whole process that it goes through, the multiple millions of miracles just to get this little life in my hands. That's nothing short of supernatural. We live in a world where Jesus is all around us because life is real, life is amazing, and life is here, it's in you and me. It brings this whole new dimension to Christ. And when I would think about him, not just as this person who came to earth and died for my sins, but literally as life itself came to earth for me. Today, the encouragement that whenever I stop and actually think about that more, my only reaction, just like when I held my daughter for the first time in my hands, is complete awe. Complete wonder that God would choose to make us. So today, be encouraged. Life itself came here for you. Something that will never, ever get old. Have a great day.